one, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's exciting.
I thought that was so like well written and so well performed. Like, it must have been so cool to do that. Like, what was that like?
It's just, wait, which part?
Like, what was it like doing that whole ending scene from the first episode?
From the first episode, it was, oh my gosh, it was like one of the most epic moments of my entire career because, like, you know, we're on the water in Brooklyn, ships, rain, you know, and like craziness, and like, you know, and then I'm there with like Ben, who's such an unbelievably committed, like brilliant actor to work with. It was just, you know, it was one of those moments where you like, part of you like steps outside and looks down and it's like, oh, this is like one of the biggest moments in my life. It was the most fun I've ever had. I can honestly say. It was just
talking about episode endings. Obviously, we've got a big cliffhanger at the end of 3.
Yeah. Yes.
Can we talk at all about where that's going, or is that?
Well,
I mean, we're gonna find out obviously in like tomorrow, but
right. Well, all I can say is that we're deepening the relationship between Gordon and Penguin in the sense that, like, you know, I'm sure it's not so much like he would probably prefer that this wasn't happening, but you know, Gordon wouldn't. But their relationship just gets deeper and deeper, and in a weird way, they both sort of need each other. You know, and in a way, like their stories are kind of parallel in the sense that they're both finding themselves, you know, starting off in their lives, like, and he's on one side of the fence and Penguin's on the other side of the fence.
Kind of like Batman and Joker.
Very similar. And yeah, but they, you know, their relationship gets more and more intense and more exciting to play. Yeah.
So would you?
Are there some hints in this story?
All I can say,
I'm seeing fish bones here.
This,
you know.
Well, this is also the logo for Fish Movies Club, you know, and yeah, it's just my homage to Fish and to Jada herself, who's just like, I mean, one of my favorite people to work with, and she, like, you know, she's like the biggest star I've ever like had this intense of like a relationship on screen with, you know, and like, you know, you go into it like when you're starting off and you have all these like sort of misconceptions about, you know, celebrities, and you never know what you're going to expect, and like from day one she was just like arms wide open, like so stoked about the project, like right there with everybody, and like it's just been so awesome. And like she's like I couldn't love her more. Like, she's amazing.
Yeah. Your portrayal of Penguin, like, you know, the only Penguin's been done a couple other times, like by Danny DeVito, or like, but like,
yeah.
what do you bring? Yeah, like, what do you bring to that's going to be different from all the other ones that we've seen?
Right. Well, you know, I would say, much like the whole show, I mean, I think, you know, we're bringing some humanity to this world, like, you know, like we're bringing some actual real, like, I think human pathos to these characters that, you know, not to say that's something that Danny DeVito didn't do, but you know, that was just such a more fantastic world that, you know, and whereas we're like bringing a more of a world that, you know, is not reality, but is like, you know, just one step outside of it, where you can still like kind of identify with it and like, you know, imagine it sort of existing in this strange way. And so like in terms of what I'm bringing, like, it's just I want him to be a real person. I want him to just be like, you know, him to make sense as someone who lives, you know, in the real world, and like, you know, the things that he goes through and his own personal ambitions make sense on a human level, and not just like sort of a grand kind of, you know, level. Yeah.
Bringing more humanity to the character.
Exactly, definitely.
Well, related to that, do you find yourself ever the show finding ways to reference or pay respect to the history of the character? For example, at the end of the pilot, when you came out of the river, I thought there was a little bit of DeVito in the way it was shot, in the way.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm, you know, like, and that's part of it too. Is that like the Adam West series, you know, with Burgess Meredith, and then the Tim Burton films, and then all the subsequent films. I mean, they're all such a part of, you know, popular culture that I think like to not have like certain like parallels or certain like, you know, I don't know if it's a direct, you know, like nod to it, but like the fact that there's similarities there, I think makes sense, you know, and like, and it's definitely like, you know, something that I enjoy, you know, because I live for like Danny DeVito's performance in that movie. I think it's just spectacular, you know, like, so any kind of like similarity, I'm like, all right, that's fantastic.
What is fan response been like? Because we're seeing people want more of your scenes after the first couple of episodes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're in the middle of Comic-Con here. I mean, have you been able to, what type of response are you getting from fans?
I mean, like everything has been like 99.9% amazingly positive, and like that's something that's so like validating because it's like something that you work on so hard and you want, and then it's like 75 years of Batman, it's American popular culture, it's the Penguin, like it's there's pressure there, and then like to have like that positive response is amazing. But I will say, like when I did get cast before anything ever came out, like the biggest like hate I was getting on Twitter was like, he's too skinny and he's too tall, and I'm like, no one has ever said that about my life. Like it's like if this is as bad as it gets, I'll totally take it. And I guess I'm golden,
That's a line right there.
Yeah.
Will we get to see?
Oh no, it's my pleasure, man.
I'm sorry. Will we get to see any interaction between Penguin and Bruce and look at the family rivalry between Cobblepot and the Waynes?
I mean, I have no idea what's coming down the pike, but like I would hope that I mean, I know that like Cobblepot is very much aware of Bruce and of the Waynes, and he's using everything that he knows to further his own ambition. So it wouldn't be out of the question if they did have some sort of interaction. And like so hopefully, I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Great.
It was really great talking to you, by the
It
way.
was great talking to you guys.
Can't wait to
It's
see more of
amazing.
you on the
It looks
show.
like
I
you're really
love
going to
it.
end up being the fan favorite for this show.
No, that's so nice.
You also going to be on Talking About Thing as Loki.
Oh,
There's similar
I've heard
kind of
that.
like
It's
feel
such
like
an amazing
really. I think it's really just because you're
I'm
like
a big
stealing the show.
Franco fan too.
Both hands. Yes. Yes.
It was really nice to meet you.
It was nice meeting you guys.
Keep up the great work on the show.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you.